All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the latest edition of the Passion for Pro Wrestling podcast with Brother Martin. That's right, baby. We got Brother Martin here, and this is the post Friday Night SmackDown show, and I gotta say, the SmackDown we just watched, it was okay. It was above average. It wasn't necessarily something to write home about, but I gotta say something that the environment was really, really cool. SmackDown was actually being they actually taped it in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, ladies and gentlemen, which was really, really cool. So, like the arena, like the setup, like the ambiance, whatever you want to call it, if you will, was really, really cool, if you will. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna talk about SmackDown results. We're gonna talk about three major stories within the world of professional wrestling. And you know what? I decided to do something a little bit extra, if you will, the bonus, if you will, because you know what? Myself, Richie, and John, we love to go above and beyond for our fans here at the Retro Wrestling Revival, which we have over 22,000 right now. From the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you. And to end the show, I'm going to do a thing from here on out called the B Show Rodeo. Like you're thinking to yourself, Chris, the B Show Rodeo. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Within the history of World Championship Wrestling and the World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment, they've always had B shows. They would always have secondary shows that weren't necessarily the most consequential on storylines, but it would still have hidden gems. It would still have fun little things that we could watch. So, yours truly, I put up a poll earlier on what show do you guys want to see? Okay? What do you want? Not what I want, ladies and gentlemen, but what do you want? And the options, they were the debut episode of ECW on Sci-Fi, Velocity, the debut episode from May 25th, 2002. Sunday Night Heat's debut episode, which was from August 2nd, 1998. And the February 15th, 1997 Shotgun Saturday Night. So, overwhelmingly, it was 71% of the votes. It was ECW on Sci-Fi. So, we're going to be watching the season 1, episode 1 of ECW on Sci-Fi, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, to let you know, we are going to watch it on Peacock. But before we get to that part of our journey, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to actually we're going to talk about a little bit of SmackDown. That's right. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry. And with that said, what did you guys think about SmackDown? Did you think it was a good show, bad show, fat show, sad show? What did you guys think it was? What was your guys' opinion? Do you think that it was a good quality show? Do you think it was muh? I mean, and do you think that it was good booking? So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up the results real quick. Like we're going to talk about it, and you guys are going to give me your opinions on that. So, to start out the show, we had hold on a second, guys. I apologize. We had Mr. Randy Orton. He was arriving at the arena like the Viper, which as you guys know, he was actually main eventing with Tamatanga, and the winner would face Gunther in the finals of the King of the Ring. So you had Randy Orton, the Viper. He was arriving in the ring. We see the House of Bloodline that's arriving, and it's extremely fascinating seeing the Bloodline, the storyline develop, okay? Because you see Paul Heyman, he's extremely cautious. He's scared. He's like, he knows for a fact that what Solo's doing is wrong. And Solo's going around saying, man, the head of the table, The tribal chief, he's already approved this stuff. He says it's okay, but you guys know for a fact that that's not the case whatsoever. You guys know for a fact that it's going to be extreme chaos whenever Roman comes back, and 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 we got our sponsor, Mr. Epic Shirts here, 403. They wanted Tonga versus Gunther. I believe that would have been fantastic. I think that would have been a phenomenal matchup, actually, different, actually. Now, do I think that Mr. Tama Tonga, he would have a chance? No, because Gunther, he's steamrolling through everybody. And the thing is, that I love about modern WWE right now is, for the most part, it's not that predictable, which makes it super exciting. But I got to say this right now, with the King of the Ring, with the exception of like a screwball finish that like we're not going to see, I believe we're going to see Gunther win the King of the Ring. And Triple H, he announced that the winner of the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring tournaments, they will wrestle for the world championship of their respective brands. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, do you think it's a great idea for Gunther to win and for them to have the American Nightmare versus Gunther at SummerSlam? I personally think that they've somewhat painted themselves into like a corner. I believe Gunther, they need like to stretch it out. They need to make it a long-term thing. I would love to see Gunther and Cody meet up at Mania, or maybe we have round one of Cody versus Gunther, and somehow Cody squeaks it out, and you see Gunther get his revenge at Mania. I don't know, guys, but I'm just saying I could see Randy versus Cody if there's like a screwball finish, and you could have like the mentor versus the student. I think there's like so many great things that you can do on that. All right, so we got some great messages coming in. Mr. John Wangland, my brother, he is the co-owner of the Retro Wrestling Revival with me. I love him to death. Welcome, John, brother. I love you. He says they are setting up some long-term stories here. I agree 1,000%. Randy versus Cody. I think that would be the way to go short term. I think that'd be great. We got what's going on, Chris. Hey, Jeremy, brother. I love you. I hope you're doing all right, my friend. And we got John saying Gunther is going to replace the mistake known as Damian Priest. Oh my God, yes. Damian is a transitional champion. He's not a believable champion. I put him in the same category as a how do you say this? I don't want him to be mean, but a swaggy Mr. Jack Swagger. I put him in the same in like the same vein as a transitional champion like him, or rugged Ronnie Garvin. Okay, I know some people, they're like, wait a minute, Chris, Ronnie's a legend, but still, he was a transitional champion. Stan the Man Stasiak, he was a transitional champion, and unfortunately, within our Monday night series that me and John do, we just recently saw Lex Luger win the World Heavyweight Championship from Hogan, and literally like a week later, he lost it to Hogan at the pay-per-view Road Wild. And unfortunately, he is a transitional champion, even though the guy was on the hottest run of his career. But so be it. All right, Mr. Jason Krantz. Hey, brother, how you doing? I hope you're doing fantastic tonight. Is anyone intrigued by the pay-per-view tomorrow? I'm on the fence. Honestly, Jason, I'll be blunt with you. I not really. I think that you're going to have some great in-ring matches. The main one that I'm intrigued by is the triple threat match. When it comes to Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn. The storyline when it comes to Otis and Chad, it's fascinating. It is interesting. And you could see it go either way. You could see Otis turn super heel and he could side with Chad, or you could see him become a massive breakout babyface by supporting Sammy. So that right there is the match that I'm looking forward to. All right, and we got some other messages here. It will be Gunther versus Raw champ if he wins. Yes, I could see that, my friend. Which I agree 1,000%. Mr. Lawrence, good day from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. What's going on, Lawrence? I hope you're having a phenomenal night, my friend. Winners have to winners have to face the brand champ. That is correct, sir. That they are on. And Jason Krantz, just a little bit. I agree 1,000%. We got Epic Shirt saying, I don't see Randy being the babyface for long. I see him turning heel on Cody for a great feud. I think Randy is better as a heel. I think he's one of the greatest heels of the past generation, period. Randy is in a league all his own. We speak about wrestlers that have taken to the business like fish to water. Randy Orton is one of those people that are like within that category. I would say Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton. I know some people, they're not going to like me saying this, but Logan Paul. I'm just saying, guys, people that are complete naturals. Randy's one of them, but I'd say Randy, just like Rey Mysterio, is a natural born babyface. We got Randy; he's a natural born heel, and the same goes for one of me and John's favorites, which is the Miz. The Miz, I love what's going on with the Awesome Truth right now, but let's just be blunt here, guys. I love seeing the Miz as a heel, but it is what it is. John said he's speaking truth bombs tonight. Priest sucks. I agree 1,000%. Hold on. Epic Shirts 403. They actually made a phenomenal point. That's why I think they should get rid of Money in the Bank. It cheapens the title. I agree 1,000% because this is the thing, guys, that if you're going to do the King of the Ring and like the winner, they get a title shot, and like the Money in the Bank within the same year, now are you diluting those opportunities for like the championships? Just saying, guys, like there's ways that you can look at it. Lawrence says Gunther versus Cody would be good if they did it as a taste for some future matches, having it set up for people wanting more. Priest will drop the title to Drew at the Clash of the Castle. Okay. Jeremy says Priest will drop the title at the Clash of the Castle, and if Gunther wins, it's Drew versus Gunther at SummerSlam. The God honest truth, guys, is I keep forgetting about Priest, and you know what? That speaks to his lack of an impact as champion. So yeah, I keep forgetting because I keep focusing on Cody. But yeah, I could see Gunther versus Drew at SummerSlam, and you talk about a banger. So yeah, I could see that. RKO versus Cody at SummerSlam, absolutely amazing. Great matchup that could be ran. How you doing, brother? We got Mr. Lawrence. He said that I like Damian Priest as champion. The WWE just needs to book him better as champion so he can have a decent run to break out as a star. I agree, but like his run right now it's as stale as 48-day-old bread. All right, here we go. Randy as a heel with the belt. Yes, I could see that again. I would love to see Randy break Ric Flair's record. That's just me. Because think about it, Ric Flair was one of his mentors. I love John Cena, but I think it would be more appropriate for Randy to do it. Money in the Bank for Drew, I could see that 1,000% as well. And we would love to see Randy and Cody feud, reasoning being they have heat. The story should be Randy as a heel having beef with Cody from the history of Legacy falling apart. That's an awesome point there, Lawrence, because think about it. You have a built-in story from years back with Cody and with Randy. And you talk about Randy saying, hey, You became champion. You never said, "Hey, man, here's a world title shot." You never properly showed me that you are grateful for where I helped you get to. I mean, just a built-in story. I'm excited to potentially see that. So, wow, like you guys are coming out like with the phenomenal comments right out the gate. So, but like I said, we have a Smackdown that happened. We had Nia Jax. She arrived at the arena. She was fighting for the opportunity at the Queen of the Ring final, and Bianca Belair. She arrives at the arena because you have Bianca versus Nia, and we see Lyra. Please forgive me, guys. I'm not the greatest on like these pronunciations. Lyra Valkyria sitting in the front row to watch the opening match. So like Lyra, she already punched her ticket to the finals with the Queen of the Ring. So she was being a spectator for Nia and for Bianca. And the thing is that Nia, she's on an absolute roll right now. And it's fun to watch. Which I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but Nia's doing a really good job lately, like with being like a great heel. I personally did not think that she was going to win because Bianca is Bianca, but Nia won, and which I think Nia, she will win the Queen of the Ring. I think she's going to win that, and SummerSlam. I could see Nia versus Becky, and I could see Becky dropping the belt to Nia. Here we go. And next thing up is that hold on a second, guys. I apologize. We got the second match, which was LA Knight, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins versus Hayes, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory. And let's just be honest, guys, it was a filler match. It wasn't it was nothing special. Montez Ford, he tags in. He hits the 7-star frog splash for the 3 count. The crowd goes nuts. Yay! And that's about it. Nothing of nothing of interest, I guess you could say. There was a fun little segment between Cody and Logan Paul setting up for their title versus title match at the King of the Ring, and they had a face-to-face, ladies and gentlemen. And it was funny because Logan Paul, he's been known for the brass knuckles lately. He's been known for the brass knuckles lately. Okay, here we go. Rand says Randy will get the belt and a retirement for AJ Styles' SummerSlam War Games. Wait, hold on. The Survivor Series War Games with a match with Styles. I could see that. Maybe they need to make that 48-day old bread and a decent pizza with Damian Priest. I can see that, brother. Because Ric Flair's reasons, yes. And in TNA, Styles was a Ric Flair guy. That is true, actually. And the thing is that Styles has been on record saying that he was not the biggest fan of the Ric Flair gimmick that he was doing. However, it did help him when it came to becoming more comfortable with doing promos. And which I believe it was Vince Russo that was the one that had the idea for Styles becoming the Ric Flair Jr. And it long term, I guess you could say it paid off. Not necessarily within TNA wrestling, but it paid off long term with the WWE. All right. Being that AJ Styles was the godfather of the X Division in TNA, it would be cool if WWE did something like that with Styles and WWE has something to do with AJ. I agree 1,000%. I think that they should recognize the impact that AJ Styles has had within TNA wrestling. Like, in my opinion, he's Mr. TNA. He is the original uh, impact player, I guess you could say, for that company, and he's the one that initially put that company on the map. So Styles, in my opinion, he's the greatest ever to come out of TNA. All right. Title for title was scratched, and it's on for the WWE title now. Oh, okay. I did not know that, actually. Thank you for that, Jeremy. Because honestly, like, the title for title, I thought that was flat out stupid, because you're painting yourself into a corner, because you have the momentum with Logan, and if he drops the belt, then what? But at the same time, though, Logan really hasn't defended the title, except I think twice. So, but it is what it is. So that tells me right there that Logan's going to lose to Cody. All right. Mr. Lawrence said, love the AJ Styles Sting gimmick where he refuses to talk, teases joining the Aces and Eights like Sting with NWO. I absolutely love that storyline. I love that gimmick, and a great homage and like a great throwback to Sting and the NWO. I thought that was one of the last great storylines within the history of TNA wrestling, which, in my opinion, and that's actually right whenever I stopped watching, was right after that storyline wrapped up. I guess you could say, like, once Styles left, I stopped being like a diehard for that company, which is sad. It really, really is. So you have the in ring with Logan and Mr. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Like, they're going back and forth, and they're talking about brass knuckles because as you know, guys, Logan Paul, like, his weapon of choice is brass knuckles. I think the William Regal influence is all too obvious. And it's funny because he's like, I left my brass knuckles back in America, and apparently they're patting him down, and they found more brass knuckles, but he's like, you know what? Those are my brother's pants. Flat out, those are his. That's what I'm reading. So they ended up, the end of it, Mr. Cody said he wants to prove that he isn't a liar. Cody asked Ryan Tran, the referee, to see if he has any foreign objects. And that's whenever he made that comment. And the match number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we had Bayley versus Chelsea Green with Piper Niven in a non-title match. It was really nothing exciting. The match, in my opinion, sucked. With all due respect, like, to Chelsea Green, I don't get the appeal. I think she's whiny. I think she's annoying. I think she's terrible in the ring. And like with Piper, I think she's a way better wrestler than Chelsea. Bayley was wrestling beneath her abilities, but it is what it is. And the thing is, really quick, guys, I get the WWE, like with Saudi Arabia, I get it. They're making a shit ton of money on all this, but I feel like they could show more respect when it comes to the women, because I see the women's wrestlers wearing full body suits. I see the female fans, they are covered from head to toe. They can only show their face and their hands. And I think that's just disgusting. I think it's messed up. I think the women should have the freedom to express themselves with how they dress. Now, the thing is that I'm not saying go out and dress like a freaking hooker. I ain't saying that by no stretch of the imagination. But what I'm saying is dress respectfully, dress your style. But unfortunately, due to the way that government is, they expect their women to behave in a certain manner, dress in a certain manner that I personally don't agree with. So it is what it is. All right, so and we got match number 4, which was the end of the show. It was Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga, and it wasn't a massively exciting match. Randy Orton wins. Then we have Orton and Gunther. They stare down at each other. Solo hits Randy with the Samoan spike whenever and then he kicks Orton. Then Mr. Kevin Owens flew 23 hours just to beat the shit out of Solo. And he tries to stunner on Solo, but Solo escapes, ladies and gentlemen. He escapes. And that is the end of SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it was more of like a house show vibe. It was more of like, okay, we have to get this show out. We're more focused on the pay-per-view, but hey, here it is. This is what you got, and it really wasn't that great of a show. So, like with that said, ladies and gentlemen, okay, hold on. Mr. Lawrence said, "Could what be great? Could what was great with TNA like ECW be revived with TNA or an old school TNA like company?" I think TNA, whenever they had from the year 2002 until about 2012, I thought the company was doing phenomenal. I know some people, they're like, wait a minute, what about the Hogan and Bischoff years? I thought the company was still in decent shape. Unfortunately, I feel like the wheels fell off after Hogan and Bischoff left. Whenever like they changed their name to Impact Wrestling, they were focusing less on stories and focusing more on the in-ring product. That's pretty much what lost me, because this is my thing, guys, is that I love wrestling. This is a freaking art form. I love it. But this is the thing. With the characters, with the wrestlers, with the athletes, if there's no story that grabs my attention, but when they're outside of the ring, why should I care about what's going on inside of the ring? Unfortunately, for many years, Impact Wrestling suffered from the same issue that AEW does, where they have phenomenal athletes, but they have a bunch of cold matches that really no one cares about because there's no stories behind them. And it's unfortunate because you're doing those athletes a disservice, but it is what it is. But like with like the recent rebirth of TNA wrestling, they're doing better. They're doing like a lot better. Which I enjoy watching the stuff with Matt Hardy. I enjoy the stuff with Nick Nemeth, Ryan Nemeth, the system like with Moose, with Brian Myers. I mean, with you got Joe Hendry. I think they're doing a decent job lately. Okay, Mr. Jason said that I agree, but their country, their rules, which I can respect that, Jason. But I think like they're just way too strict on everything. But ultimately, I'm not a part of their government. I don't live there, so maybe I'm missing something. But you're right. You're right. All right. So dressing like a hooker was overdone within the Attitude Era. I agree 1,000%. And you wonder why no one took the in-ring product with the women seriously. I agree 1,000%. Logan Paul Levesque versus Cody Rhodes. That would be outstanding. That would be outstanding right there for the belt. Yes. All right, here we go. The storytelling at its best. Yes, I believe the WWE. The one thing that they're doing right now, and it's a great balancing act. They have great in-ring matches with great stories to go along with it. I would have to say Chef's Kiss, absolute perfection going on. Hunter is doing a hell of a job with everything. And the WWE, they need to do more with Logan Paul, playing off his YouTube popularity, having him do a Piper's Pit like talk show run would be awesome. I agree 1,000%, Lawrence, because this is the thing, guys. Logan Paul, he's a good promo, man. He's a natural heel. He's a natural asshole. So the thing is that instead of just focusing strictly on the Prime thing, focus on what brought him to the dance. Focus what brought him to fame, and that was YouTube. So yeah, I could see that 1,000%. Okay, and which I agree, TNA, they've been doing a lot better and then going decent. I agree 1,000%, brother. Okay, so before we do the ECW watch along, like we're gonna do 3 stories from the business, and this source for this story is from NoDQ.com, and Ryan Gerwitz, which was the former writer for the WWE after Vince Russo left. He has a fascinating perspective, which of course Brian works for The Rock. He works for the $7 company for The Rock. And Brian Gerwitz, he explains why he thought the idea of Cody Rhodes winning the 2024 Rumble was problematic, which I disagree. While speaking on Busted Open Radio, $7 as SVP Brian Gerwitz discussed the original plan to have the undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at WrestleMania 40. That kind of led us to a pinpoint, January 1st, the promo with Jinder Mahal in San Diego, because at that point it was looking very much like a possibility that Rock and Roman was going to happen. And we had a meeting in The Rock's rented hotel room for the day in San Diego, which it was me, Rock, Hunter, and Nick Khan. We talked about it all day. Hunter was very, as you would imagine, he was aware and very aware of the current situation with Cody Rhodes storyline, and brought up that we spoke about that for a while. And at the end of the meeting, this is what was funny that people don't know, is that everyone enjoyed the promo with Jinder, but what everyone was talking about was the end. It should The Rock sit at the bar? Should he sit at the booth, or should he sit at the head of the table? And that came about super late within our meeting in San Diego hotel, because as we were talking about Cody, it was said, well, you know what? I hear you. Maybe we should do a little test polling of the audience, and not just the audience in San Diego, but the audience all over the world. What if we teased it without saying it directly? We brainstormed on how to do that, and he did it. And as you saw, the place went nuts online. Maybe nuts is a different degree of nuts in terms of your diehard Cody fan, and you might be, hey, wait a second, what's he talking about here? But for the most part, it was overwhelmingly positive when he teased the head of the table. And right at that point, we were like, okay, that gives us our answer. We're locked in. He did the TKO announcement. He went to WWE headquarters, and that was it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect to Brian Gerwitz and The Rock, just because you have a huge reaction because The Rock returns, doesn't mean that that's a definitive answer on, hey, let's have him main event the WrestleMania with Roman, because that completely disqualifies, or like that completely negates the importance of the Royal Rumble. So if you were going to have The Rock face Roman, have him win the Rumble, then go there. Then somehow figure out a way to put Cody into there. The fact is that we were waiting for so long for the payoff for Cody that I think The Rock, he kind of wedged himself in there, and the fans didn't want it. I don't care what Brian says. That's the God honest truth. All right, here we go. Logan Paul is a Piper Hollywood kid. Yes, I agree 1,000%. You see the influence on that. Logan versus Knight at SummerSlam, I think that's going to tear the house down. Brian is a really good writer, which you enjoy his work. His series he did with Young Rock outside of wrestling is also pretty good. I'm a fan of it. And which which actually Brian Gerwitz, I have his book that he wrote, and it's outstanding. It's a well-written book, and which I encourage you guys. You go on Amazon, you buy it. I think it's the 7th most important man in the WWE at the time. I forgot the name of the book, but it's really, really good. CM Punk, he gets hurt, and you can change it to Cody. I agree. You have The Rock win the Rumble, and you could plug Cody in with Seth because of the history there. And you could perhaps revisit finishing the story with Roman later. But the way they went about it, they were force feeding the fans, and the fans, the backlash was absolutely severe, and that started the hashtag We Want Cody movement. All right, Roman, I gotcha. CM Punk versus Seth. I was looking forward to that match so much, but unfortunately, it didn't happen because the Second City Saint got hurt. But it is what it is. Or you could have done a Cody versus Rock versus Roman triple threat match. Have Cody pin The Rock, and then have Roman versus The Rock at SummerSlam. I don't know, guys. I'm just saying. It's just The Rock, he forced himself into that situation, and the fans are like, ain't going to happen. All right, so the second story that we're going to do is a report on the health of AEW's Jim Ross after he writes about an unexpected emergency room trip. Earlier this week, AEW personality Jim Ross wrote on Twitter that he had a trip to the hospital room in Norman, Oklahoma due to shortness of breath. JR later posted a photo of himself in the hospital and wrote to fans that he is going to quit smoking. He said that he won't be able to go to Las Vegas this weekend for Double or Nothing, which was his next announcing gig. But as of right now, he's only doing pay-per-view shows. He said that he has a Class A flu and raised heart enzymes to go along with breathing issues, but was getting great care and expects to be fine in a few days. So, JR, the GOAT, the greatest announcer of all time, I wish him well. John wishes him well. Richie wishes him well. I hope he feels better. And JR, you still got a lot to give to the business, my friend. If you realize now that you can quit smoking and it's going to extend your life, not only for the ways you can benefit the business, but ultimately your family, more power to you, my friend. I wish my dad personally would have done that. But unfortunately, he died due to long-term complications from smoking. So, JR, good for you, brother. I'm glad that you're quitting smoking. It sucks that we're not going to hear you at Double or Nothing this weekend, but your health is the most important thing. And by the way, I'm getting these stories from NoDQ.com. The main writer is Aaron Rift. Fantastic writer, by the way. And before we start our ECW watch along, this is the last story from NoDQ.com about MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, when MJF could be potentially making his return to AEW television. As seen during the 2023 AEW World's End pay-per-view event, Samoa Joe defeated MJF to become the new world champion. And MJF has not appeared on AEW television since the pay-per-view. In March, and MJF's shoulder injury was said to have been significant, and his recovery had been reportedly been slower than what he was anticipating. So according to Fightful.com, there have been discussions in regards to MJF making an on-screen return to AEW. Sources within AEW expect him to be back sooner than later, and there is a belief that he could return to AEW television by 2024's Forbidden Door pay-per-view event in New York, if not sooner. In regards to his contract, he was said to receive a contract extension with AEW at some point following the 2022 Double or Nothing pay-per-view event. While He has not confirmed his status. He reportedly remains under contract for quite some time, and he is among the highest paid wrestlers in AEW as per the deal. So, there's a few things that confirm. First off, he's staying with AEW. Secondly, we're going to get him soon, and it couldn't happen soon enough because the AEW product, it sucks. It is dreadful. There's only a few highlights for me. I like what's going on with Edge and Malachi Black. I think that's outstanding. The stuff with Swerve and Christian's good. But other than that, there's nothing of substance that I really care about. So it is what it is. And really quick before we start, hold on. There we go. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm not trying to skip. There we go. The Rock did not want to do a triple threat match. Really? Okay. I did not know that. Get ready for a King to step in for JR. That would be amazing to see JR and Jerry Lawler one last time come together. AEW, I gotcha. Been learning a lot lately on little details, differences between matchmaking, booking with matches, writing of storylines, how the mechanics work, and how they should work together. Oh, yeah, man. It is truly an art form that people really people don't quite get the intricacies of it, and it's not as simple as people think. There's an art, there's a skill, there's a technique to doing all of this, ladies and gentlemen, and which I can claim that I'm an expert, but I'm not even close. I'm not even in the league of someone like a Triple H. I'm just a fan that speculates and gives my opinion. So I would like to be involved in doing stuff like that, which I'm sure you guys would too, but there's a lot that goes into it, which is really cool. The Edge match is where? The Edge match, it's going to be Malachi Black versus Edge in a barbed wire steel cage match at the Double or Nothing show. Forbidden Door, I think it's Forbidden Door, Maxwell, yeah, he's going to return. Like Triple H retro return. That would be awesome. Okay. Epic Shirt says that I've been following Aaron Rift and No DQ since 2004. 20 years. Aaron and Jeff are OGs. I agree 1,000%. That is my main website that I go to for like my dirt sheet stuff is No DQ because they're one of the most reliable, hands down. Okay, MJF, Rand says. Okay, yes, the Forbidden Door with MJF. JR is in my prayers which along with the King and with health problems, I want to see one last run with JR and the King. Hell yeah, man. I can't wait to potentially see that. And AEW, they need to strap the Rocket to Mercedes money and give her the run as women's champion. Still keeping Miss Toni Storm strong. Maybe put Dustin Rhodes with her due to Gold Dust fame, building her up to win back the belt. That would be very interesting, actually. Now, the question I have is, would the WWE be okay with that? Because of like the whole Gold Dust gimmick thing, because you know how finicky and sensitive companies are about that, but that would be cool. King calling the Edge match, that would be outstanding. Even if you bring back Jerry Lawler just for like the special shows, like the pay-per-views, I would just be over the moon excited about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we've done the news. We've done the review of Smackdown. We are going to. This was chosen by you guys. Okay, you guys, if you will. You guys are the ones that said, "Hey, let's do the ECW on Sci-Fi debut," and that's what we're gonna do. And it's gonna be fun. It's going to be fun. It's gonna be super. It's gonna be great, grand dandy. But we got to do a little housekeeping. And me and John and Richie would like to say that if you guys love all kinds of t-shirt designs, you love stuff that involves pop culture, sports, politics, you name it, guess what? Epic T-Shirts has you covered. So, I'm gonna let you guys know like this right now. Like right now, like there's like a special deal going on like with Epic Shirts. If you go to their website and you put in the promo code RW Revival, you get 10% off your order. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? You get 10% off of your order. You get some cool designs. You get a phenomenal customer service experience. And this is the thing, guys. I guarantee you that once you shop there once, you're going to be doing it again and again and again and again. And you're going to be thanking us. You're going to be saying, Chris, Richie, John, you guys have changed my life with these shirts. You guys are going to be walking around town saying, hey, look at these designs. Look at all this stuff. Look at everything that I've done with my life, all because of a suggestion to go get 10% off of my t-shirt. So this is the thing, guys. Not only will you wake up and feel more energized, but you're going to get more dates. Your wife's going to look at you with in like a more positive manner and just be like, wow, you're absolute a reflection of perfection. But in all seriousness, guys, seriously, we love our partners at the Epic Shirts. So please go to epicshirts.ca and put in RW Revival for 10% off of your order, guys. Okay, sorry. All right. And just to let you guys know right now, the number one shirt on the website is an Elon Musk shirt that says "Go fuck yourself." So, like, I'm just saying, you talk about stuff that completely that is expressive, that is out there, that is awesome. I'm just saying, guys, go to epicshirts.ca, go to RW Revival for 10% off your order. All right, guys, I'm sorry. Here we go. I'm not sorry for the sponsor, but I'm sorry that I'm just going on and on. But if you want your life changed, go on the website. Here we go. All right, here we go. The King is calling Edge's match, ECW, Sandman versus the Zombie at top of the show. That's correct. Back in the Attitude Era, WWF and World Championship Wrestling always sued each other over everything, but would still copy each other and rebel against the rules. Both WWE and AEW need to have the same guts as back in the day with that. I agree 1,000%. And ECW Originals versus the New Breed, that was actually an okay storyline. Which the WWE did more justice for the ECW Originals versus New Breed feud. It would have been interesting. I agree 1,000%. And it's similar to like the discussion that John and Richie had the other night. They're talking about the New Blood, that storyline, and like the possibilities that could have been. And just unfortunately, it seems like people just can't seem to book those types of feuds correctly. So it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, load up your Peacock app. All right, load it up, load the cock. We're going to have some fun. And what we're going to do, if you will, we're going to look at ECW on Sci-Fi. And hold on a second. I got to pull this up real quick. All right, so I apologize, guys. You gotta love doing stuff live. The internet is just being a pain in the tuchus right now. All right, hold on. ECW. Please try again. Okay, guys. Anyways, while I'm loading this, what is name off some of like your favorite ECW wrestlers, guys? Because I know for me, I love Jerry Lynn. I love Rob Van Dam. I love The Sandman. I love Tommy Dreamer. I love all kinds, baby, if you will. Okay, so you're going to go to ECW on the Peacock. Okay, so it's labeled as 5 seasons. You're going to season 1, June 7th, 2006, ladies and gentlemen. The Gangstas, ladies and gentlemen. I love. What? Hold on. I take that back. It's not June 7th. It is June 13th. Holy shit. My bad. All right. So, June 13th, 2006, season 1, episode 1. The one I was referring to prior, it was the WWE versus ECW head-to-head show, which we can do that special later. But you know what? Let's get the earphones on, ladies and gentlemen. So like we're gonna do ECW on Sci-Fi, the debut episode. So if you guys want to join us, you're more than welcome to. Episode 1, season 1. It is from June 13th, 2006. Oh man, like that seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it, guys? All right, Raven, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk. Hold on, here we go. We got Terry Funk, Dreamer, Sabu, Chris Candido, which actually I just posted a video of Mr. Candido as Skip on our page, which John, you saw. Franchise St. Douglas, amazing. Mike Awesome, Raven, Sandman, Mike Awesome. You talk about somebody the WWE and World Championship Wrestling missed the boat on. Dear God, Mike Awesome. Just one of the greatest misses in the history of the business. Period. Taz, the Pitbulls. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, guys. Here we go. Make sure you got the Peacock loaded up. June 13, 2006, season 1, episode 1 for ECW. All right, guys. I'm going to count this down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's do this, son. All right. Here we go. So, we got a throwback to this is showing highlights of One Night Stand 2006, which is a really good show, by the way. But if you talk about a perfect tribute to ECW, One Night Stand 2005, that was it. You talk about absolute perfection when it comes to that, just ECW in general, the spirit of it. I just without a doubt, that was the show. So many great talents within ECW. I agree 1,000%. The Dudley Boys. Oh man, many they consider them the greatest tag team of all time. Taz versus Mike Awesome is a real WWE versus World Championship Wrestling match. I agree. That prayers. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. Francine. Oh yeah, Francine. She's Lawrence, a little inside baseball. Miss Francine, she's not a fan of me and John. All right. Here we go. Dawn Marie. Yes, Dawn Marie. She was a talent as well. It was all downhill after One Night Stand 05. I agree. Beulah, extremely good. Miss Kimona, she's famous for the striptease on top of the ECW arena. Miss Tammy Sitch, oh God, yeah, she's in prison right now. Mr. Chris Candido, Woman, which was Nancy Benoit. Bam Bam Bigelow, and John, not a fan to say the least. That's correct. We're referring to Francine because she thinks that some people they take themselves way too seriously. And whenever like we're joking around, they think that like we sincerely dislike them, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. But it is what it is. Life's too short to take yourself seriously. So, well, 100% of the time. So, but it is what it is. All right, guys, here we go. We got the opening of ECW on Sci-Fi. Let's start it off, baby. We got Paul Heyman. He is the Messiah of ECW. He's the one that he was the one that was running the company at its peak, at its zenith. And many people, they compare Paul Heyman to a cult leader, because this is the thing, guys. Like, the wrestlers that wrestle for him, they would literally run through like a brick wall for the guy. They would go weeks and months without getting paid and still stick around because they had so much love for Paul and dedication. All right, here we go. Woman 911, just incredible. Oh, just incredible. John actually did a sit down interview with Justin, and John had a really interesting experience with him, which, as a matter of fact, Just Incredible was, I believe, it was John's first ever wrestling interview. So, a fun fact for you guys. The Dangerous Alliance, yes, I love the Dangerous Alliance. The Impact Players, the New Dangerous Alliance, that's a little bit of a different story. Louis Dangerously, yes. 911 choke slamming people, that was the best. I agree 1,000%. Just randomly walking up to people, just choke slamming the shit out of them. Oh, the Public Enemy, Lawrence. Okay, don't get us started. Me and John, we have a love-hate with we have a love-hate with them. All right.
Don't act like you don't impress.
John said my first podcast show ever was with Just Incredible. That's right. And you said that Justin was a really, really nice guy from your experience. It's just he was unfortunately struggling with certain things. The Gangster.
I'm a loud fan in the crowd. Woo!
Sure, Lawrence said, sure was the Undertaker Kane. He took the choke slamming from everyone from the 911 playbook for sure. The Bad Breed, yes, I love the Bad Breed. All right, so like we got Rob Van Dam. He's in the ring right now, ladies and gentlemen. And Rob Van Dam, he defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship. And the crazy thing about it, guys, is that Rob Van Dam, let me quote Bray Wyatt. He's got the whole world in his hands. Rob Van Dam had the whole world in his hands at this time. But unfortunately, he got pulled over. He got arrested. And basically, the trust that Vince McMahon finally gave him completely went out the window. The chair swinging freaks, that's right, baby. The Gangsters, hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. He was too hot to handle, baby. Rob Van Dam, which in my opinion, Rob Van Dam is the greatest wrestler in the history of ECW. John said Justin was a very nice guy, but he still owes me a t-shirt, and he took like 4 times to get him to it took him 4 times to get him to finally do it. I hate to say it, John, but that doesn't surprise me. All right, here we go. But that was 6 years ago, so I'm never getting it. I don't know. I can message Justin. No, I'm kidding. FBI was freaking great. Jerry Lynn, I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for Jerry Lynn. John can speak to that. I have a massive mark for Jerry Lynn. He is such a phenomenal in-ring performer. And it wasn't even necessarily Jerry's work in Extreme Championship Wrestling that made me fall in love with him, but his work with TNA Wrestling and his initial feud with AJ Styles, that got me hooked. And that got me looking into the rest of Jerry's his history. And Jerry, absolutely outstanding wrestler. Which, unfortunately, he wasn't the best promo, but he made up for it in the ring. Steve Corino, great solid wrestler. Dustin Rhodes, baby. Which, as a matter of fact, if you guys have heard the promos between Paul Heyman and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, last year on the road to WrestleMania 39, Cody said, and this is the truth, that Dusty was doing local car commercials just to have a vehicle to drive around because he was broke. And during that time, Paul Heyman called up Dusty Rhodes and he gave him a job, and he basically saved the Rhodes family from going homeless. So freaking Cody has nothing but the utmost love and respect for Paul Heyman. Tommy Rich, excellent. Wildfire Tommy Rich, excellent wrestler. Tracy Smothers, excellent, solid talent. The Young Pistols, I love the Young Pistols. Sid, amazing. We could go on and on about the great homegrown and legends that passed through ECW. Oh yeah, like without a doubt. And this is the thing, guys. And it's like me and John said the other night while we were recording. Without a shadow of a doubt, if it wasn't for ECW, you would not have had the Attitude Era. You would not have had the Cruiserweights. You would not have had the Luchadors. All that stuff. Paul Heyman and ECW were the catalyst for that. And it's unfortunate that they didn't have the payroll to back themselves up to continuously. I've already fed them. So, yeah. So, this is the thing, is the WWE and World Championship Wrestling, they had the mentality, well, Paul really can't compete with us, so let's just steal from him. And it's a damn shame, guys. It really, really is. All right. Oh, dude, Scott Hall, yes. I think it was the first time Scott got fired by World Championship Wrestling. He made a few appearances in Extreme Championship Wrestling. And think about it, guys. If Scott was 100% sober and he would have made like a long run with Extreme Championship Wrestling, how cool would it have been? Like the potential matchup Scott Hall he could have had. Just saying. All right, so we got Edge and Lita in the ring. Paul Heyman, he invited Edge on the debut episode, and the thing is that Edge was the one that helped Rob Van Dam beat John Cena for the WWE Championship at One Night Stand 2006, because Edge, he showed up right out of the crowd. He, long trench coat, biker helmet, speared Cena right through the table, and Rob's like, you know what? Extreme Rules. All things go. Anything's go. Everything goes. There you go. So he took advantage of it. Bing, bang, boom. World champion. And John Cena is standing right behind Edge in the crowd. And he's got no idea. His time is up. His time is now. You can't see him. He can't see him clearly. Uh-oh. Boom! Right in the face, ladies and gentlemen. Edge is getting the shit smacked out of him. And you talk about a reflection of them going off the rails with the original vision of Extreme Championship Wrestling. Right here is a great example. I love John Cena. I love Edge. But unfortunately, they should not have been involved in the show. I get it. It's a part of the fact that Edge cost Cena the world title. But they should have just focused on Rob being world champion, and they should have addressed Edge and Cena on another show. But that's just me. All right, here we go. It's going to be Love the Kayfabe Commentaries guest booker Raven did, where he fantasy booked the scenario if the Outsiders showed up in ECW instead of World Championship Wrestling. Dude, just imagine how the business would have changed if that scenario would have occurred. I'm just saying, because like a lot of people, like they could talk a lot of shit about the Outsiders and everything else, but they changed the business without a shadow of a doubt. You talk about those guaranteed contracts that every single modern wrestler within AEW and within the WWE gets. Guess what? You can thank the Outsiders for that. You can thank Hulk Hogan for that. As a matter of fact, the first widely recognized guaranteed contract was the Wild Man Mark Marrow from the WWE in 1996. So, like, I'm just saying, guys. All right, the loose cannon stuff with DCW with Brian Pillman, it was off the charts. It was shocking. It was stuff that, thank goodness, they didn't go further, because if it happened today, they definitely would have got canceled. The best part of the WWE ECW was the first 2 ECW pay-per-views. Great booking, great. I agree 1,000%. And it's funny because, in my opinion, the One Night Stand 2005 is one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time in wrestling history. And then you have the same brand that makes one of the worst, if not the worst of all time, which is December to Dismember. And that's actually the show that made Paul Heyman quit the WWE. It's crazy, ain't it, guys?
I love you.
So, yeah.
You do.
All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a sci-fi, we gotta have this zombie alien bullshit. So like the first official match in the new era of Extreme Championship Wrestling in the WWE, it is a zombie versus the fucking Sandman, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, this is the B show rodeo. Okay, we're gonna focus on these B shows, and some people are like, "Wait a minute, B show." This is considered a B show, guys. Let's just be blunt here. But if it wasn't for the revival of ECW, we wouldn't have had the NXT brand. So that's one of the best things that have ever occurred from this happening. You talk about bringing a positive from a negative. There you go. Okay, here you go. You couldn't agree more on thanking those names for guaranteed contracts. I agree 1,000%, Lawrence. Those guaranteed contracts, those guys love them or hate them. They're a big reason why many wrestlers these days, they're living very comfortably. And heck, you look at AEW, you got these people, multimillionaires, and they're only working 2 days a week. And heck, you got wrestlers that haven't been booked for months and still are getting paid. Back in the day, if you didn't work,
you didn't eat.
You didn't get paid. So that's why those older wrestlers have such a mentality about it and think that a bunch of modern wrestlers like they're crybabies. So just saying. ECW in Florida Championship Wrestling became NXT. I agree 1,000%. Okay. So, yeah. My favorite all-time pay-per-view was the WCW Uncensored 99. Flair versus Hogan, barbed wire, steel cage, Hack versus Raven versus Bam Bam, Mike Whipwreck versus Kidman, etc. I agree 1,000%, brother. That is a awesome show. As a matter of fact, we could potentially do a watch-along to that. Speaking of ECW originals, Mikey Whipwreck, which I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for. A fun fact for you guys, Mikey Whipwreck, you have Mr. Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, one of the biggest wrestlers on the independent scene. Guess what? Mikey Whipwreck was the one that trained him. Brian Myers, he's got trained by Mikey Whipwreck. There's many other wrestlers that got trained by Mikey. And the Sandman, he came out, he beat the shit out of the zombie, and the first official match is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. And Sandman is beating the piss out of the zombie all the way to the back. So, yay. And by the way, I'm drinking cherry Coke, if you will. What? All right, so we have Kelly here, and this is the exhibitionist gimmick where essentially it is a strip tease gimmick that she does, and which at this time I believe she was 19 or 20 years old, and this is back in 2006. So yeah, Mikey Whipwreck has also trained Amazing Red, the Maximos, and the SATs. Oh, freaking Amazing Red. You talk about somebody that would tear the house down with the X Division. I loved freaking Amazing Red.
You know what?
And one of like my favorite runs with Amazing Red was whenever you had I'm really bad with names, guys. I apologize. The former announcer for TNA that passed away, Don, not Don Callis. I apologize, guys. I'm drawing a blank here.
It is what?
Don. I feel like a jackass right now. I cannot think of the guy's name, and I paid a tribute to the guy. Don West. That's it, John. Thank you. You got a cameo done by Mike Whipwreck. He's a really cool guy. Oh yeah, Mikey is an amazing human being. Don West. That's right. Don West was a huge supporter of Amazing Red, and I believe he was a manager of Amazing Red for like a short period of time, which led to the biggest push within TNA, where he won the X Division Championship. Which I encourage people that if you love high flying matches, freaking Amazing Red it's just like his name. He's amazing. All right, so we got highlights from One Night Stand 2006. Taz versus Jerry Lawler. He's getting ready to pile drive Joey Styles. Taz, boom. You got the Taz mission. You got the Hammerstein Ballroom going absolutely banana right now. And, you know, you couldn't expect it to not go banana. You got Taz, an ECW original, one of the greatest of all time to ever step into the bingo halls. And no disrespect to Taz. He's a big reason why ECW was the third biggest company in the world. And that is cool as hell. He choked out Jerry Lawler, and they were playing on Jerry's real life disdain for ECW. He sincerely believed it was extremely crappy wrestling. But like with all due respect, Jerry Lawler, legend, one of the all-time greats. He wants to talk shit about ECW. Does he not realize he booked Memphis Wrestling? Just saying, guys. Just saying. Because some of that Memphis Wrestling shit was horrendous. All right, here we go. Love the low key versus Amazing Red stuff on the Indies, Ring of Honor, TNA, etc. Oh yeah, like that. Low key, another amazing wrestler. Just a really horrible attitude. Don West, baby, that's right. Not John West, the can of tuna guy. Nope, no. Don, not John. In Australia, they have a tuna brand called John West, and not sure where it's made, if it's made here or elsewhere. You know what? I think I might. If John West wants to sponsor us, they can. I'm picking. All right, so we got freaking Kurt Angle's debut match in Extreme Championship Wrestling here. He is facing Just Incredible. And if you guys were to hear the story of Kurt Angle, he felt like moving to ECW was a demotion because his view is like, okay, so like you're gonna book me in smaller arenas. I'm not gonna be wrestling nearly the talent that I had. I'm not getting paid as much, and you expect me to be happy with it. Vince McMahon said, "Yep," because you're gonna be the face of the brand. And I was watching the rise and fall of ECW the other day, and hearing Kurt Angle's story about how he threatened to sue Paul Heyman over a show that he was at, where Raven he crucified the Sandman. That was an interesting story because Taz was going to bring in Kurt Angle to work with ECW. And Raven had to go out and he had to apologize. It was fascinating stuff, guys. All right, so like we got freaking Just Incredible getting his ass whooped. The argument was that ECW ripped off Memphis Wrestling. Do believe some of the stuff was inspired by Memphis Wrestling, but they did great in their own right. You're a fan of both. I agree 1,000%. I mean, like me personally, I'm not the biggest Memphis fan. I think a lot of it is very cheesy and very, very freaking old school and outdated. I'm just not a fan of it. All right, so you had Kurt Angle making quick work of Justin Incredible. He's choking him out. Justin, essentially at this time, like with all due respect, he's just there for like a paycheck. The majority of the ECW, the originals, they're being used to put over younger talent. They're being used to put over the WWE talent that's been transplanted within this brand. Love the USWA versus Smoky Mountain and the USWA versus ECW feuds. I agree 1,000%. Smoky Mountain, I have a soft spot in my heart for that because there's so many wrestlers that got their starts there. You got Jericho, you got Lance Storm, New Jack, he got a start there. Just in general, you guys know what a mark I am for Jim Cornette. So, and Dutch Mantel, he helped with booking there as well. Mr. Chris Candido, Tammy Sitch, I could go on and on. Bob Holly, which you guys know that I'm a huge, huge mark for Bob Holly. All right, so freaking Kurt Angle, he's got his mission statement he's making here. He's like, you know what? I'm the wrestling machine. I'm a badass. I'm here to dominate ECW. And which, unfortunately, this is the beginning of the end for Kurt Angle within the company in general. Because later on in 2006, Kurt Angle debuts for TNA Wrestling, and Kurt widely admits, and he openly admits that he was struggling with a pain pill addiction. And he said, and like he flat out said that to Vince McMahon, that if you don't let me go, then I think that I'm going to kill myself, because he was being ran into the ground essentially. So, guys, it's a fascinating story. So, all right. So, Paul Heyman says the main event got screwed up because of Edge and Cena. So, you know what? We're going to change it up a bit. We're going to have an extreme battle royal, ladies and gentlemen. A 10-man battle royal. An extreme battle royal, weapons allowed. The winner's going to face John Cena and Vengeance. Oh, so Paul Heyman's saying we're going to be taking the fight to Monday Night Raw. So there you go. Would have loved to see a decent Smoky Mountain Wrestling versus ECW feud. Could you imagine Jim Cornette versus Paul E. Danielson? Heat from the days in World Championship Wrestling with their feud, recycled all of the great Smoky Mountain versus ECW matches. Oh, dude, like without a doubt, man. And speaking of that, which I was going down like a rabbit hole the other day with the Midnight Express versus the original Midnight Express feud between Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman. Absolutely freaking gold, brother. And dare I say, you got two of the three greatest managers in the history of the business, and you got two out of the top 10 greatest talkers of all time with Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman. And some people, they're like, 2 out of 3 greatest managers. Yes, because for me, Bobby Heenan, the greatest of all time. All right, so like they're showing like a review from earlier tonight, and we're gonna have Edge versus Rob Van Dam at Vengeance 2006, and like essentially Edge, he's gotten the world title shot because he helped Rob win the world title. And this was the rebirth of the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. So there you go. So yeah, this brand had so much potential. Unfortunately, it just went off the rails right away. I mean, but you see bits of good, bad, sad, glad, whatever you want to call it. I mean, just it. I don't know, guys. It just breaks my heart, if you will. All right. Okay, so we got Edge giving Rob Van Dam the low blow. He's escaping being the scumbag sack of shit that he is. His character, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and frickin' John Cena pops Paul Heyman right in the face. All right, so Lawrence says my two favorite managers are Jim Cornette and Paulie Dangerously. You can't go wrong, brother. You can't go wrong. All right, so like right now we got Kelly, and she's doing the exhibitionist thing, and honestly, I could really care less. So, Kelly, she eventually went from this stupid stripper gimmick to she actually became a credible wrestler. I'm not saying she's on the level of a Becky, a Trish, or whatever, but she became a decent wrestler, and she became a Divas champion. You also like Randy Hells from Memphis. I'll be honest, Lawrence, I don't know very much about Randy Hells, but I'll definitely look into that. And of course, like they're just wasting time on this crap. Just yeah. So yeah, like Randy Hills, I'll definitely look into that. So yeah, this has Vince McMahon written all over it, and I'm really really glad that the WWE that they evolved from this shit. But a lot of people, they will make the argument, hey, sex sells and it gets freaking eyeballs on the product, which I cannot say that that's wrong. But if it's at the expense of the respect of the women's wrestlers, then I don't agree with it. All right.
I love you.
Okay. Okay, guys. All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. So, thankfully, thankfully, like the Kelly stuff is done with. All right, so like we got the 10-man battle royal, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Extreme Originals. You got all weapons legal. Okay, so are we going to see kitchen sinks? Are we going to see pots, pans? Are we going to see guns, guys? Are we going to see knives? Are we going to see dwarf tossing? I'm just saying, guys. All things are legal within this match. And you talk about Tommy Dreamer. I would. You speak about. You think about World Championship Wrestling, like the heart and soul was Sting, the franchise of it. I would have to say the franchise of ECW, of course, was Shane Douglas, but the heart of it, it was Dreamer. Okay, so you talk about another legend that's coming out right now. We got Sabu, the homicidal, genocidal, erecticidal, geriatricidal. I don't know. Sabu, ladies and gentlemen. Someone that helped put that company on the map. But honestly, I have, which I listen to Busted Open Radio daily, and I gotta say, listening to Busted Open, it makes me have more respect for Bully Ray and for Tommy Dreamer, and not Dreamy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. I apologize. But what you call it? Dreamer, absolutely phenomenal mind for the business. Bully Ray, great mind for the business, and I think partially why TNA wrestling is becoming good again is because of Tommy Dreamer. I think he's a big reason for that. All right. Mr. Lawrence said that I connected with Randy Hales through Facebook. He worked CWA, was raised by the Jarretts and Lawler in wrestling. He booked USWA, ran Power Pro Wrestling, which did WWE developmental stuff. He does the Power Pro watch alongs I share and the Talking Memphis Wrestling. Really? Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Randy. Okay. I think I might know who you're talking about. Because, like, with USWA, the last show that I watched, it was with The Rock as Flex Cabana. So, there you go. All right. So, the franchise Shane Douglas was the Ric Flair of ECW. Dreamer was the Sting of ECW. I agree 1,000%. All right, guys. You had Stevie Richards, Al Snow, The Big Show, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu. The Big Show, I might not be extremely popular saying this, but I liked The Big Show as the ECW champion. I thought they booked him like a freaking monster and a badass. And the unfortunate part, like with The Big Show, is that it was like start and stop with him. Where like they would start him off as a freaking monster, then like they would cool him off. I don't know if it was the way that they were booking him because they didn't have faith in him or what the deal is. Or it's just the fact the Big Show wasn't motivated enough. I don't know. But the fact is that you talk about a big miss. The Big Show was a massive miss. And the thing is the Big Show is one of the greatest big men of all time. Hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. I wish they would have been more serious with the Big Show long term. Because think about it, guys. The Big Show was the first person to defeat Brock Lesnar 1, 2, 3. And because they felt, hey, that was going to motivate the Big Show to be a believable freaking monster badass again. And then 1 month later, and I think this is in 2002, it freaking cooled off. He lost the world title to, it was Kurt Angle at Armageddon in 2002. And I had some people that are like, Chris, he was a transitional champion. You know what? Don't burst my logic bubble. All right, here we go. So like we got freaking all right, so like we got Pans being smacked around, ladies and gentlemen. We got Danny Doring, we got Tony Mamaluke, a really tall guy with the FBI shirt. I forgot his name. Big Show, Roadkill, freaking Balls Mahoney, Little Guido. Just wow. Or was that Big Guido? I don't know. Sabu's on the outside. He's got a freaking table he's setting up. Speaking of tables, ladies and gentlemen, I was reading an article that Daniel Fishel, the woman who played Topanga from Boy Meets World, she said she wants to be put through a table before she gets too old. If you were to pick somebody to put her through the table, who would it be? Because I know for me, it'd be Bully Ray. Because he's the definition of the table specialist. Here we go. All right, here we go. What I liked about the Big Show and in ECW was some of the talent, like Hardcore Holly. They actually did what the original ECWs did, where they revived, revamped, and talent that were stale. I agree 1,000%. I think Hardcore Holly did a hell of a job in ECW. And you look at someone like Test. He came back and he was a believable badass, and he wasn't there for too long, unfortunately, because of his struggles. But the fact is that he got a shot in the arm. And speaking of Test, it's sad because right after he got fired from ECW, he went to TNA Wrestling, and apparently it didn't work out whatsoever. And he was there for a couple weeks, and then he got fired from that. And then that was the last time you saw him on American national television. And then he would go to France and wrestle. And then unfortunately he would pass away soon thereafter. All right, so we need a promotion like ECW that can revive, revamp wrestling in the magic of ECW again. I would love for them to bring back ECW. I know it's like beating like a dead horse, but I mean, hell, the WWE owns the copyrights. They own everything about it. So why not do it, guys? And I know some people, they're like, well, like that died out. Why not do WCW? And it's like, I don't know, guys. That would be cool to like to see them bring back World Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. We got freaking Tony Mama Luke being tossed out like a bad batch of lasagna. Oh God. Little Guido got tossed out. We got the Big Show. We got the Big Show, Big Guido, and Big Show face to face. Big Guido, good God, he's almost as tall as the Big Show. All right, so just imagine if Big Guido would have won the world title. Anyways, all right, so a Big Guido, he got knocked out. He is trying to pull Big Show out of the ring. Sabu smacks him in the chair. Boom, it's over with. And Sabu wins the Extreme Battle Royal. Weapons legal, toilet seats, toilet sinks, minks. If you want to take your mink off and smack somebody with it, you can. Everything's legal. By all means, ladies and gentlemen, it is like a legal beagle. And that's going to be Sabu versus John Cena at Vengeance 2006, ladies and gentlemen. And Paul Heyman has the perspective, I'm going to get revenge because this bastard, he's disrespected my brand. So Sabu, he's going to go to battle for me, and he's going to lay the smackdown, if you will, on John Cena. Okay, here we go. Mr. Lawrence, he said, Mr. Lawrence, he was disappointed with Test not doing more in TNA as the Punisher, Andrew Martin, as it had meat on the bone, and I liked it. I agree 1,000%. That was a huge missed opportunity, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. All right. So, absolutely decent show, guys. Not horrible, but decent. And this is the debut episode of the B Show Rodeo, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, you guys voted on it, you picked it, and next week, whenever we do the Passion for Pro Wrestling, we're gonna do it again. So, if you guys want to watch the second episode of ECW, vote for it. Let me know. If you want to watch Velocity, vote for it. Let me know. We got Shotgun Saturday Night, Velocity, Sunday Night Heat, and ECW. If you guys want me to switch it out and do the WCW Pro, if you want me to do another B show, give me some ideas, and I'll put them on the poll for next week. And before I go, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to drop our sponsor again in the comments. And if you would, guys, please give our sponsor some love. If you give the code, okay, hold on. You know what? I'm just gonna type it in real quick. Hold on. Epic. Oh my guys. This has been an absolute blast tonight, guys. So thank you so much for joining me. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let you know this right now. Make sure to check out our sponsor here on the Retro Wrestling Revival. Go to epicshirts.ca, code RW Revival for 10% off your order, ladies and gentlemen. Like, there's all kinds of fun designs on there. Like I said, it could potentially change your life for the better. You could be wearing a shirt that could potentially get you noticed by your soulmate. Who knows? You can thank us later. But like I said, guys, make sure go to epicshirts.ca, code RW Revival for 10% off of your order. Once again, thank you, Epic Shirts, for being a sponsor for our show, for our brand. You guys are amazing. And by the way, like the freaking service is great. The shirts are great. Flat out. We are appreciative of our sponsors. We are grateful for our fans, and flat out, me, John, and Richie, from the bottom of our hearts, we want to continue to give you guys a fun place to express your passion for pro wrestling. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is for fans by fans, and you know what? 22,000 followers so far here on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. So we're growing Facebook. We're doing phenomenal on the radio, okay? Because go to WDJYFM.com every Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m. We got the Retro Wrestling Revival radio show. Every Tuesday, you got the live show with John and Richie. They're doing phenomenal things. And then there's the show with me and John Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on our scheduling, where we do the Monday Night War Series, guys. We got content coming left and right, and awesome parts is that every single day I'm posting awesome content, rare content. I'm posting rare matches. I'm posting awesome promos. I am posting freaking cold beer and hot sandwiches moments, freaking botches, gaffs. I'm posting enhancement talent matches. Guys, there's no page on Facebook that does it like we do. There's no wrestling page on Facebook, fan-made wrestling page on Facebook that is eclectic and as diverse in content as we are. I promise you that. So like I said, to all the 22,000 followers that are here, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm speaking for John, I'm speaking for Richie, I'm speaking for everybody. Thank you, because you know what? You guys make it possible. And there's going to be amazing things to come coming up, okay? We're not only with freaking t-shirts, but freaking Patreons. We're going to be doing so many things within the next year. You're going to have to hold on. You're going to have to hold on for dear life, guys. But like I said, for fans by fans. And if you guys want to promote any groups that you might have within the world of professional wrestling, let us know. Let us know. And Lawrence, brother, throw out your page name so we can promote it, man. Also, check out the Pro Wrestling Takeover. That's another page that we will gladly put over. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm really bad with names. I apologize. And make sure to check out. Hold on. Go to the epicshirts.ca, code WR Revival. It's been a pleasure, Lawrence, brother. I love you to death, man. And go to Mr. Lawrence's page at Laz's Pro Wrestling Fan Group. Awesome page, great content. Also, check out the Pro Wrestling Takeover. Like I said, guys, this is for fans, by fans. We are building this community to promote our passion for professional wrestling and to develop relationships and to conversate and come together, guys, because I'm a firm believer pro wrestling is just the start. It's just the beginning. It is something that we can use to connect within each other, to build relationships, and to uplift one another. So I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm happy. You guys have put me in this position, and John in this position, and Richie in this position, and we're so grateful. So if you guys, you're going to put us over, we're going to put you over. So anything that you guys want us to promote, let us know. I love you guys. I love you, Lawrence. I love every single person that supports us. Thank you guys. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And come join me next Friday on the Retro Wrestling Revival Presents, if you will, the Passion for Pro Wrestling podcast, where I'm flying solo. I'm going solo. And make sure to check out me and John's show, if you will. The Monday Night War series every Wednesday or Thursday, depending on our schedules. You check out the stuff with Richie and John every Monday or Tuesday, depending on schedules. Guys, just hang in with us. And check out the radio show every Saturday and Sunday at WDJYFM.com from 9 to 10 p.m. And go to epicshirts.ca and RW Revival for 10% off your whole order. So, guys, thank you. God bless you and have a wonderful weekend. Peace.